Wow, what a difference a year makes coming back here. I'm at Devil's Alley hiker-biker site on the C&O Canal. And there's the Potomac in the background there. And there's my the campsite. Let me walk you in and show you how different it looks with the in the middle of June with all of the plants in fully leafed out. All right. So over here, I was here, I think it was November last time I was here. So all the leaves had pretty much fallen. It was the last week before they were going to pull the handle on the pump. So it wasn't freezing, but it was definitely a little chilly. Outhouse is about in the same place. Got the iodine water. The water's not too bad. I am filtering it though, just in case. I don't want to get too much iodine. I think it makes it taste a little bit better than drinking the iodine straight. Can't remember where I hung my bear bag last time, but maybe it's just on the same tree. Got it hung here as you walk into the site. There's my little bear bag. Couldn't find a place for my tarp. I think last time I was here I didn't bring a tarp because they weren't expecting rain, but it certainly rained enough on this trip. It rained pretty much all morning. I was kind of stuck in camp. I may go for a hike later this afternoon. But I managed to string the tarp down there near the river. And just a little place for me to be able to enjoy looking at the river and staying dry and not being stuck in the side of the tent. Rivers are quite high, and the little rapids over there are kind of interesting to look at. This would be a fun little kayaking trip. Maybe I might do this someday in the future. With the green wall up on the other side of the river, you don't see any of the farm fields on the other side. Or I think I saw a light last time in the distance, which kind of really put a damper on the whole wilderness feel. But now with that green wall up, you don't see anything. And this is so far, and the train tracks are pretty far away, so there was no train noise here at all, which was kind of nice. And the camp's pretty much set up the same way, but boy, does it look different with all the leaves out, doesn't it? Looks a lot different. They got the table set up in about the same spot. The stove's been working really, really well. I think this might be a keeper for trips. I've had pretty good success with this wood stove, even with the wet wood. It rained last night. It rained this morning. Everything was soaked, and I still was able to get a fire started on it pretty well. One thing I think is helping is this little plate here. This little plate allows it to breathe through the bottom, so I put it on top of the grill here, or if I had a regular fire pit, I put it on top of that grill. It would be able to breathe up through it, and I think it really, really helps the fire. Got my I brought the wrong tent for this trip. I think it's the same tent I brought for the last trip because that was a shoulder season trip. This week's been really, really crazy with work, with the transition from one company to another, and I've been just so, not thinking straight. So I ended up bringing my shoulder season tent. So it was plenty warm last night. It held up just fine. But I would like to have brought my my Lanshan 1 for because it was relatively warm. It was like in the 50s last night, upper 50s. So this tent's kind of overkill for this weather, but I hiked it in. It's what I had, so I had to sleep in something. And the view of the Potomac here is quite nice. And that green wall to kind of block the view of the farmers' fields is just really excellent. It really kind of gives this place a nice wilderness feel. I've only had, I think, two bikers come by. I haven't had any hikers at all. 2 bikers come by, because this is a 3.5-mile hike from 15 Mile Creek. So it's a bit of a hike to get here. It's not close, which is another reason I like it. It's really remote, so you don't get as many people kind of going through, being in a fishbowl, because you've got the trails right up there, and then your campsite's right down here, so people looking in. I've only had 2 people come by so far, though it did rain all morning. It's finally cleared up here in the afternoon. We might get some rain, some thunderstorms tonight. I'll check on the weather radio here in a little bit. But anyway, it's a nice little view of the Potomac. Everything leafed out green. I chose to use the well as opposed to the Potomac, but I bet I could have used the Potomac on this trip. I think this is the upper reaches of the Potomac, so it's pretty clean this far north. The only city north of me is basically Cumberland. After that, there's really nothing. So I think this water would be probably okay to filter. I wouldn't drink it straight, but it'd probably be fine to filter. So anyway, that's the way I'm set up here for my my summer return to Devil's Alley here on the C&O Canal. And I will maybe do a few more videos on some things. Maybe I'm going to go, I think I might go, now that the weather has cleared up, I might take that hike I was planning on and show you how I'll arrange for that. Just down to the lock, maybe a little bit up the into the Green Ridge State Forest. But anyway, just a view here of Devil's Alley here on the C&O Canal. All right, see you on the trail. Bye-bye.